Trump mega donor and a Bannon money man, Robert Mercer, stepping down from his billionaire hedge fund, selling his stake in Breitbart News. And it all comes amidst Vanity Fair reports that Bannon is calling for big changes at the White House and how to deal with Mueller. A chaotic situation. And one of the people speaking out to Vanity Fair is former Trump aide Sam Nunberg. And he says the president is, in TV-friendly terms, screwed. You may remember Nunberg. He was fired from the Trump campaign based on a range of deeply offensive social media posts, including ones using racial epithets. Just last year, he was also sued for $10 million by Donald Trump himself, although they eventually settled.
I won that suit, by the way.
Well, you settled.
I settled, yes.
You settled.
I
you didn't win it in court.
I didn't win it in court. Okay. Correct, Ari. But
now, I have more. Do you want
to? Okay, yes.
No, but you're here anytime. In the Vanity Fair report, Bannon worried about Trump losing power, and Nunberg says basically his former boss, the president, can't go any lower. He is, and then there's a word I can't say on television. With me is former Trump campaign advisor Sam Nunberg. We will get to all of this, but let's start with why you're back in the news. You, along with apparently, allegedly, Steve Bannon, are on the outside saying it's bad in the White House.
It's very bad.
Does Donald Trump get it, in your view?
I don't know if he gets it, because what I've heard is from people that have talked to him, and I have not talked to him recently, Ari, but what I've heard is that he is listening to this guy, Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb, from my perspective, is playing defense. Ty Cobb is...
You're talking about one of his chief criminal defense
Ty
lawyers.
Cobb is a lawyer.
Yeah.
Correct. Ty Cobb came in. Ty Cobb, they had him, brought in. Once when Kelly came in, it was part of this whole new regime that was coming in.
They're going to cooperate with Mueller. And Bannon says that's a terrible idea. Have you talked to Steve Bannon about this?
I don't want to talk. You know what? Let me not say whether or not I've talked to anyone.
Sounds like a yes, then.
Yeah, it sounds like a yes.
Because it'd be easier for you to say no.
But what I would say is, in general, what I heard from Alan Dershowitz, I spoke to Alan Dershowitz the other day. What I heard from Alan Dershowitz was, in general, you want to say publicly, we'll cooperate. But Ty Cobb has made a point to say, we're going to give everything over. And if you look at the Ken Vogel New York Times report, which you reported on, it goes into how people like Trump loyalists who are not around him anymore, Ari, are saying, you got to fight this, you got to be on offense.
Now, then you get into Jared Kushner. Let me read from another quote.
Yeah, he's terrible. He's a joke. He's an absolute joke.
You say he's the worst political advisor in modern history.
He is an absolute joke.
What is your evidence of that?
And by the way, Ari, I would say, he should go back to real estate in New York. Unfortunately, I hear from when I read, I don't know real estate in New York. He's not very good at that either. What I do know is from all public reporting, and what I do know is that he said you should fire Flynn, you should fire Mueller, you should do this, you should do that, you should make deals on things that would be direct.
Comey.
Comey, yes, he said fire Comey. And by the way, a lot of people suspect, I don't know, a lot of people suspect, which nobody has really reported, that Comey started looking into Jared's financial dealings and his real estate dealings. Jared is a major problem. The real problem is, and I know Ivanka, and I love Ivanka, and I think she's great. You think about it, 2009, she marries Jared Kushner, 2009, 2010. He owns The Observer. He has that big deal on 666 Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, he's got...
And it's all turned to crap.
Let me ask you this, because these are people that you and Steve Bannon have had long-running feuds with. What is Donald Trump doing wrong with regard to Russia, and are you worried that he has exposure on allowing attempted collusion during the campaign, as some of these emails seem to suggest?
I'll disagree with you on collusion. I don't know about collusion. By the way, I wouldn't know about collusion. You remember I was, as you talked about, I was fired within 6 weeks of the campaign. I was sued this summer when he was the nominee. But what I would say is the problem is, first of all, Jeff Sessions. Okay, I'm talking from a conservative point of view for your network. Jeff Sessions should never have recused himself totally. Whether he should have recused himself, whatever, I don't know. But he should not recuse himself.
What does Donald Trump need to do differently? I mean, you're making waves. The only reason you're here is because
I think he needs to fire Cobb. I think Cobb has told him, Cobb has said this publicly, that the Mueller investigation will exonerate Trump by the end of the year. It will not, Ari. It will not. You're going to have trials into 2022.
I'm going to hit pause, then you get to speak again after the pause.
Sorry.
You just said You disagree with the Ty Cobb strategy that would result in Donald Trump being exonerated because he has nothing to hide. But a minute ago, you just said Donald Trump has nothing to hide. If you're right, then isn't Ty Cobb's strategy to cooperate good because he'll be cleared faster?
No, it is not good, and I'll tell you why, Ari. Because there's a difference between whether or not Donald Trump is innocent on the actual collusion, which, by the way, Alan Dershowitz, as you know, and you've reported because I watch you, Alan Dershowitz has said it may not be a crime even to have colluded with Russia. Let's not argue.
Are you not answering my questions on purpose?
I like that question, by the way. You're very good.
You just said.
This is why you get good ratings, by the way. I like that question.
Let's stay focused. We're almost going to finish here, but
okay.
Let's stay focused. You said you disagree with the strategy that says cooperate with Mueller because he'll be exonerated, but you also said he doesn't have exposure. What Cobb and the White House lawyers have said publicly, as you've already acknowledged,
Ari.
It's good to move forward with Mueller because the fact-finding would benefit Trump if he's not exposed. That's my final question.
You do not release executive privilege. You do not give you just do not give up executive privilege.
So you're saying you just see it as risk?
Yes.
Even though you don't think he did anything wrong. The last thing I got to ask you before I let you go, obviously, is will you ever apologize for all of these racially incendiary posts?
Yes, I will apologize. I will apologize, and I have apologized, and I will also want you to know that somebody of the MSNBC family, Reverend Sharpton, forgave me, and I was fired and I suffered serious consequences.
So you are, and that's what I'm asking. I'm giving you a chance here.
Thank you, and I thank you for it.
And you put this behind you. You're sorry for it.
I'm sorry, and I hope your audience understands. I suffered serious consequences for this, and I apologize, and it has not been an issue.
Okay. Well,
thank you very much for bringing it up.
And my job is to give you a chance to address it.
Yes. No, thank you. I thank you for
Sam Nunberg, you must be drinking a lot of coffee because I'm getting like a Vulcan eye contact thing with you here.
Is that bad?
No, this is a lot of energy. Thank you for coming on the video.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.